All right, what is going on? It's Nate. We got another Truck Talk episode today. So I just wanted to give some insight and kind of just be real with you guys on the way life goes, right? So I was talking to one of my members, shout out to Cutter, the other day. We're on a one-on-one, and I was telling him about the law of rhythm, right? So you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. Things are going to go up, things are going to go out, and they're going to come back, right? It's just the way life goes. You're not always going to be straight up. Your life's not going to always just go perfectly. It's just the way it is, right? And so what matters and what you have to do is in your life, say you have the pullback, say the tide's pulling back, whatever it is, whatever bad is happening in your life, right? There's two things you have to do. At least it's kind of my guideline for myself, right? Step one, was there anything I could do about it, right? Because if there's nothing you can do about it, then you shouldn't let it bother you regardless. But if there was nothing you could do to prevent it, you cannot let it take up your mental space, because that's how you just end up kind of like a depressed person. Because if you are getting upset about these things that you have no ability to control, then how do you act when it is something you can control, right? How much is that going to beat you up? And so what I do, sorry, this light is not like registering that I'm here. And so, right, so today, there's news about the war this weekend, right? We struck Iran, and so obviously I was kind of going into it. I was like, okay, this could be a kind of a crazy day today. And then last night, the pre-market was open, or like the after hours, whatever. It was open, and like futures, and they weren't really down. Like everything was fine. And so I was like, oh, okay, today's gonna be chill, right? So then I wake up, and I only had, I think, 4 or 5 positions, right? So I had CoreWeave, QUBT, HIMS, Groupon, SMCI. I don't know. I had like 5 positions. Pretty small size. Like I didn't have that much money invested in the market. And out of those 5 positions, HIMS had a huge like bad news thing come out saying that one of their big partnerships, they dropped it, and so that was the whole reason the stock was going up. So that stock opened down 30%, right? And so on Friday, my contracts for HIMS were up 20%, and today they opened down 70%, right? So that's almost a 100% swing. Okay, so what could I do about that? Nothing, right? I had no idea the news was coming. There's no way for me to prevent it. There's literally nothing I could do, right? So I could sit here, beat myself up about it, get mad about it, whatever. It's all going to average out. I'm going to have those days where the good news is in my favor and a stock gaps up 30% or whatever. And so it was a good setup, and I did everything right. So it's like, you can't get mad about it. Okay, and then QUBT, they had an offering, and offerings always make the stock go to the freaking floor. So they had an offering down 20% at open, right? So it stops out right away. It was still a winning trade because we were up a lot on it, but right, so we had an offering on that. SMCI had an offering, right? So that stock down, stopped out. What else did I have? I don't know. It was just crazy because every single stock I had, pretty much, there was individual bad news on it, which never happens. Like, I never get hit with stocks that have bad news. Like, never. Like, that's like the first time I've really ever like had a problem like that, especially where they react that heavily. And it all happened the same day at the same time. Like, it was crazy. So like something like that, I just laugh about it. And so like, this is my account today, right? Minus 25.89, right? And so I'm gonna be real, like, trading is not gonna just be a bunch of, you know, easy peasy, make money every day, just, you know, just a money glitch. No, you're gonna have days where you lose money. And so it's like, how do you handle those days, right? I mean, like, if you came up to me right now, would you be like, oh, that guy just lost $2,600 today? No, you can't tell, because it's part of the game. And it's like, I know when the market's in good conditions that these things happen for me, and, you know, every loss is just creating a bigger win. And so it's like, you have to realize every time you're getting hit with something like that, it's gonna have an equal and opposite reaction. So if you're getting hit with the 30% news and, you know, you're getting hurt by that, you're gonna have a stock that goes up 30% on good news that you're in. So it's like, you have to understand that everything levels out, so you can't like get mad about stuff, which obviously is much easier said than done. And so days like today, like, yeah, it sucks, but this is why it's so important to live by your imagination, not by my senses. Because like right now, I'm really not bothered by it. It hasn't really bothered me at all today. Like, do I want to lose money? No, of course not. But me sitting here and looking at it and feeling bad and feeling lack, feeling limitation, is only going to bring more of that into my life. Versus if I sit here and I look at all the good, and I look at, okay, yeah, this is creating a great opportunity. These stocks are all setting up again. I'm gonna, this next run, I've learned a ton. I'm ready for the next move. I know how to handle everything. I know my selling rules. I got my trimming rules. Like, I'm locked and loaded. Or I could be like, oh my gosh, I'm just losing so much money. What am I gonna do? Oh my gosh, the world's ending. Sky's falling. Right? It's like, no. You have to realize this world's fake. And I know that's probably gonna confuse you, especially if you haven't really looked into the way the world works. But like, the world's fake. It's just literally, what is this car doing? The world's fake. It's literally just a reflection of your inner thoughts. So everything in this world is energy. Every single thing is energy. And energy, your brain is both a broadcasting and a receiving station. So your brain equally receives information from the world as it emits information and creates your reality. And so the way you perceive things determines what happens in your life. Because if you perceive a $2,500 loss as a huge opportunity that's coming into your life, you are now creating those $2,500 opportunities to come back. But if you look at it and you perceive it as, oh my gosh, this is terrible, what am I doing? You are bringing those terrible opportunities into your life because you are a broadcasting and a receiving station, right? So you look at your phone and you see, and you are receiving that information. And now you have the ability to broadcast out any channel of information you want, whether you're saying, oh my gosh, the sky's falling, or you're saying, oh my gosh, I'm about to make so much money, I've learned so much, right? So you have to understand that your mind is what creates this reality. It's literally proven. Like, I'm gonna make a YouTube video going over all these documents that they've proven and shown that your consciousness, your thoughts are working with the world, and it creates and alters your reality. You can bend the reality that you live in by shaping your thoughts. That poor car. Wow, that sounds really bad. But yeah, so it's like, you have to understand that you have to live in this fantasy land, and your fantasy will soon become your reality. So it's like, I don't care that I'm down $2,500 because I make $100,000 a month. Like, $2,500, okay, yeah, I make that in a day. Like, literally one good day wipes out the $2,500. So it's like, who cares? And so that's kind of the mentality you have to have. If you have a lack and limiting belief, you're going to get lack and limitations. That's what happened to me for the last month. I had a poverty lack mindset, and I got poverty and lack. I was missing all the good trades, taking all the bad trades, making stupid mistakes, over risking, everything that you could do wrong. I was doing it because I was coming from a place of lack, and I was trying to catch up, trying to make money quick, trying to and so it just brought more of that into my life. It brought more lack into my life because that's what I felt, because I was chasing. And so you have to stop chasing, you have to become. Stop chasing, start becoming. The biggest thing they want to kill your imagination. They want to kill your attention. That's why you have social media. That's why you have TikTok. That's why you have Instagram Reels, because that absolutely fries your attention, which fries your imagination, and your imagination is how you create your reality. So there's my spill on that, right? So you have to understand that they're fighting for your attention because it is the most powerful thing, and they know that. They know that your attention is what creates and shapes your reality. And so they want you to be doom scrolling. They want you to be doing these things, and they want you to live by your senses, because they know you won't change if you're doing that. They know that you'll stay the same forever if you're just living by your outside world. But when you understand that you have the power to shape your outside world to match your inner world, then you can live any life you want to live, right? So your inner world is what's reflected on the outside. If you like do this thing, sit down and imagine someone doing something, right? I know that's such a broad statement, but like, imagine someone that you don't really talk to coming up to you and saying something to you. Imagine someone texting you that you don't normally text. Like, imagine something like that. Feel it as real. Be like, oh wow, I'm surprised they texted me. See it in your mind. I guarantee you it'll happen. I do this all the time, like these little tiny tests, and it always works, because your imagination is what shapes your reality. Shout out to Nick. He left the Celsius at my place, and now I'm drinking it. So yeah, that's just the way life goes. Like, you can create any reality you want. Your mind creates your reality. Your mind literally shapes reality in whatever way you shape it to be, right? You are the one that puts in the mold. Like, you create the mold, and then God is what fills that mold. So if you create the mold of abundance and prosperity, God is going to fulfill that. If you create the mindset of lack and limitation, God is going to fulfill that. God is always for fuller expansion and expression. So God is always fulfilling what you are bringing and what you are offering and what you are thinking. And so if you are offering, thinking, and believing in these lack beliefs, these lack and limitation, you are bringing that into your life. And so that's just the way it goes. And so I like switched my mind, and I was like, no, I realized what I've been doing, these lack and limiting beliefs, snapped out of it. I said, no, I'm locked in. Like, I'm on a high frequency. I earn $100,000 a month. You know, I'm a millionaire. I'm helping millions of people earn millions of dollars. Like, I'm doing all these things. And I stopped chasing, because that's what was so wrong, is I was chasing. And when you chase, you never are. You can even if you make the money, you don't change inside, and so it doesn't matter that you have the money. So you have to change inside, and your outside results will change. And so that's my truck talk for the day. I'm pulling up to the gym. Beautiful Huntington Beach, beautiful day today. I mean, it's like, God is so good. If you can't thank God for your challenges, if you can't say God is good on the days where things seem to be falling apart, then you know you got to work on your mentality. You have to understand that it's just a big simulation, and if your happiness depends on your bank account, if your happiness depends on how much income you have coming in, then you are going to be an emotional roller coaster. I was like that for a long time, but now it doesn't matter, because I know I always have more than enough. I always get plenty. I am abundant. I am always, I can create any reality I want. My thoughts create my reality. So I just keep my thoughts. Your only job, sorry, another little tangent. Your only job is to put out, right? Your only job in this entire world is to put out through your thoughts. You don't have to worry about what's going to come back. You don't have to worry about how it's going to work. You don't have to worry about what's happening. I don't even know why I'm saying this. I just feel the need to say this. But your job is not to figure out how it's going to work out. Your job is not to figure out how the dots are going to connect. You cannot connect the dots looking forward. It is impossible. It is impossible to connect the dots looking forward. So if you are spending your life trying to connect the dots, like, oh, well, if I do this and this and this, you're never going to move. You're never going to move. You're always going to stay the same. You're going to look back in 5 years and be like, I'm the same exact person. And I'm going to say, yeah, I know. Because that's exactly what you're doing. Because you are trying to connect the dots looking forward. Your job is to put out your thoughts, and the God, the universe, infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call it, will bring you back everything that you need to make that your reality. That's literally how it works. Your only job is to put out the right thoughts. Your only job is to think the right thoughts. And not only think them, not just think, oh, I make $100K a month. Feel it. You have to see it. Imagine it. Imagine. Your imagination is the most powerful thing on this earth. Your imagination is the most powerful thing on this earth. Ask yourself what you're imagining. When you take the trade, are you imagining it stopping out? Are you imagining your account going down? Are you imagining all these things that could go wrong? Or are you imagining how much you're going to make? Are you imagining the life you can create? Are you imagining how powerful your mind is? Because you're always imagining, always, 100% of the time, you're imagining things. So you have to ask yourself, are you controlling your imagination? Because once you can